Hey everybody, this is Scott Bowman. I'm the creator behind Idea Brickworks, and we're here with another episode of Brick Building Together Apart, season 2. So you had the regulars last a couple weeks ago, but this week we actually have a guest again. Our guest this week is Derek Thomas Pearce. He is from Canada. So we're having another international show with Sam, of course, as our normal producer and my friend. And then Joe Chambers has joined us. As far as other regulars, not quite sure yet about Peter. And I know that Sam, or otherwise known as Mr. B, had a meeting, so he may join us a little bit later. But anyway, so today we're going to talk about Derek, and Derek has the challenge of opening a Lego themed store in a pandemic. And so I thought it would be interesting. It's a little out of our normal, with 4 or 5 blokes talking about space. I thought it would be really fun to hear about that and what Derek's journey has been, what got him to this point. And just as full disclosure, Derek reached out early in the year, last year, for designers that might be interested in designing sets for him and his effort. And we connected and we talked, and we had a couple of attempts at the time. And then, of course, COVID happened. Plus, I had a bunch of things, too many pots in the fire, so I wasn't able to respond as well as I probably should have. But anyway, so we've kept in touch and, kind of touch base. And I just thought it'd be fun to learn about what it does take to create a store, create a brand in a time of pandemic. So with that, I will turn it over to you, Derek, for now.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. It's an honor. We kind of got the United Nations of Lego fans over here. So like Scott said, my name is Derek Pearce. I'm from Canada, the Great White North, and I have, in the pandemic, recently started a business called the Brick Space. So I am the owner and general manager of that business, and yeah, it's totally been a big challenge opening a business in a pandemic. A lot of people were like, when I first started and I was going to open, they're like, "Why are you starting now?" And it's like, well, now would kind of be the ultimate time because we're all at home. You'll have so much time to do stuff. Yeah, and then as it went on, it was like, oh, but certain things that you want to do, you won't be able to. Like, you won't be able to go out and look at stores. You won't be able to go in person and meet with clients. But with the age of Zoom and all that, it's kind of been helpful in that aspect. And like Scott had mentioned, we had met a few times virtually via Zoom. Thank goodness. And we tried, to get some designs produced together, but we just, it didn't happen. But we're always open to having that in the future. So that's another thing that we're doing. So a little bit about the Brick Space is, so we're a building block themed store in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. So for people who don't know where Sault Ste. Marie is, if you take the Great Lakes, it's smack dab right in the center of it. So we got Michigan to our south, Winnipeg to our west, and Quebec to our east. So it's kind of in a good spot. And there's not too many Lego brand retail stores around. I think the nearest one is in Toronto. And then as we go west, the nearest one will be Winnipeg. And then south is Detroit. So we got about a 900-kilometer circle where there's not too much competition. So when I did that, I was like, you know what? That's just perfect. There's nothing like this here in our city yet for the kids to enjoy. So we're like, this is it. We're going to go for it. And we did. So
when you talk about a building block theme, are you going to have things other than Lego?
Yeah, so we're gonna focus on any major brand of building block. Now I know a lot of people are like, oh no, not the clone brands, but unfortunately, some of their stuff does sell really well. So it makes sense to have it featured in the store. Mega Constructs has the Pokemon license, they have the Call of Duty, they have the Halo. So a little bit of a good mixture between what Lego offers and what they offer. So we're gonna have them all, and Mega Blocks are cheaper to buy, thankfully. So the inventory cost will be a little bit less for half the store. So, but yeah, and the store design is going to be somewhat similar to a Lego store. Like we're going to have in-store displays. We're going to have giant bricks either built out of wood or 3D printed, which is good because we own a 3D printer. And yeah, it's going to be very good. We're also going to host birthday parties and other events in the store because, there's kids out there in the world, they want to have birthday parties, and sometimes, they don't have the space at their homes or whatever to have them. So we're going to have a nice big space in our store to have birthday parties. And even like if companies want to come in and rent our store for like a corporate event, that'll get their employees talking, why are we in a toy store?
Right.
Yeah. And
so we have a local store here in Idaho called Bricknology.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was started by he was in the Silicon Valley for many years and came back to Idaho, and his name's Dean, and he's doing many of the same things that you're doing, but he does sell other building block brands, but he does really do a lot with Lego in that he is, I think, the largest independent retailer at this point. So it's really kind of amazing that he gets stuff sometimes before we can get it. But not that that's official. Don't tell on me. But
we promise.
I didn't hear any.
We're gonna stick with Lego as much as possible for our main stuff. I know all of our building block sets and stuff like that are made using Lego. We just find it to be the superior brick, and we want to make our stuff of the highest quality. So we use all Lego brand stuff for our buildings and stuff like that. So, and we are gonna have a giant 46 square foot Lego City display in our store. Yeah, so it's 3 tables that sit together, and I've been building it slowly in my storage unit the last year or so, and it's going to be pretty intense. And we got a nice giant plexiglass cover to put over it, so it's COVID protected, and kids can't go in and poke around, and people can't get out. It's kind of like the WandaVision bubble, but for Lego City, yeah. So, and then. Like I mentioned before the stream had started, we recently got into making custom minifigures just like Lego produces, only we take authentic Lego and take the prints off and then reprint prints onto it. And those have been selling extremely well. So.
Now, did you bring that in-house? Are you doing your own printing yet, or what?
Not yet. We're working with a partner out of Quebec. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Million Prints.
No.
Yeah. So they're a fantastic. It's a flag shop in Quebec who recently decided to get into printing Lego. So he's got a nice big $30,000 printer that allows him to print awesomely on bricks. Actually, I'll see if I have a sample here. Actually, in the set that I'm going to be building today, one of his printed elements makes an appearance, so I'll pull that out. And yeah, he does a fantastic job with these prints.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So, and we actually, our first partnership with him was a thing over Christmas where we did a Secret Santa type giveaway. So we had kids from all over our city submit a nomination, or their parents submit a nomination of a really deserving kid who's had a rough year with COVID. And we selected 6 of them, and we made a custom minifigure of themselves.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So if you want, I'll bring a picture of it up.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, they were. The printing on it is really good quality. The only downside is that you have to go, all the way to Quebec and then back to our facility. To get them, but their quality is really matched to what Lego can produce. Once it loads here, I'll show you. Good old Rust Bucket computer doesn't want to There we go. So, yeah, this one was. So this is one we did for a boy who's fighting leukemia right now.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so he was one of the nominations that came in, and he was selected. So yeah, so anybody who orders a custom minifigure, they get a face, torso, and then a base plate print, which is unique because I don't think Lego is printing on base plates except for I think the Lego Batman movie was the one exception. So
Yeah, I think you're right.
yeah, so definitely a little uptick from Lego there, and you can see our logo is on printed tile there. So it's another fantastic little addition. So yeah, and then recently we just got a commission done. There was a winter carnival here in town, so we did a brick built mural for them, and that was another huge project that we did, and it was a chore, that's for sure. So and that's another service our store is going to offer is commissioned builds along with 3D printed bricks. So say if you have a brick that you've always wanted to see in your head, but you can't 3D print it yourself, you can come into our store when it's open and we will 3D print it for you. And then we also offer, CAD design services to build that brick. So yeah, it's going to be, once it's open, it's going to be a fantastic little store.
So what are your plans at this point? What
as of right now, we're actively monitoring the COVID-19 situation. We did notice that the government of Canada is putting out some grants to help businesses start up during the pandemic and stuff like that. So we're looking at getting some of those. And then there's some technology grants too, which would help us because, we have the 3D printer that would be considered part of the technology grant. So we can apply for that.
Sure.
Yeah. So, we're working every day to try and get stuff like that to accelerate the process. I know in a month or so, we're going to start a Gofundme campaign to help open the store a little bit earlier than expected. So it's kind of like, as a community, help build the brick space. And then in our store, we're going to have a giant wall of 3D printed bricks. So anybody who makes a contribution to the GoFundMe will have their name engraved and forever on display in the store. And then there's going to be other perks and stuff as well that we're creating on an every day. So
That's a good idea.
That's really cool.
Yeah, well, it allows the community to take pride, saying, yeah, this is a local business and we helped build it. So we think it's a fantastic idea.
So tell us a little bit about some of the sets you've done already, because you've already done a couple of commissions.
Yeah, so we worked with a partner with Playwell Bricks. I know a few of you might be familiar with Playwell Bricks. Yeah, so we worked with him on a Sault Ste. Marie Museum set. That was our city's clock tower museum. It's become a bit of a hassle getting the parts from Bricklink and getting it in, but we're still working hard on it. So we did that one with him. We did a Cross on the Hill, which is the set that I'm building right now. And if we bring up my screen, this is another one we've done. It's actually coming out on the 16th of February. So pretty much what I'm building today is the prototype, and then it'll be going off to mass order and production. And then next up, we have a Edmund Fitzgerald, which is coming out. I'm not sure how many of you guys be familiar with the story, but yeah, it's another big set. And this one will actually be
the song.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah, so that's another big set that we're producing. And with that one, most of our sets, they're digital instructions, but with the Edmund Fitzgerald, we're going to opt to go with a printed booklet because we're going to do a nice giant collectible. And that's going to be part of the enticing for the set. And we've actually gotten ready to send one to Gordon Lightfoot, who actually did the song. So we're going to be pretty excited to see him receive that.
So speaking of being old, I saw him perform that live back when I was in college.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I was going to the Gordon Lightfoot concert.
Yeah, it's a fantastic story, and it's sad that it ended in tragedy, but it's so well known around here in the Great Lakes. It's just we had to produce something of it to take in the history and stuff of the area. So
now, do I remember? Did they actually find it? Have they found the wreckage?
Yes.
Yeah.
The wreckage has been located. Unfortunately, now because it's in Canadian waters and the Canadian government has sanctioned it off, you can't dive on it anymore. Yeah, so that's a good thing. They went down, they got the bell, they did everything that they had to try and figure out why it sank, and then after that, they kind of said, we don't need to come down here anymore. Nobody does, and then they sealed it off, which is nice. So
well, it is a graveyard, right? I mean,
well, yeah, exactly. And even like when we were producing the sets, we thought about doing a shipwrecked version because this design we actually like when we were talking with you, Scott. This is another design that we bought from another designer. So he had two versions of it. He had this one, and then he had a shipwrecked version. And we were going to do the shipwrecked version as well, but we got a lot of blowback from the families and stuff. So we decided, we'll just do the display model of it as it sailed, and we'll figure out if we're going to do a shipwrecked version at a later date or well on into the future. But this one has been really receptive. We have over 1,000 people pledging to order one as soon as it's available. So
so you got to be careful about your brick selection.
Yeah, well, the good thing with it is we picked a lot of common everyday bricks on it. The only thing that's not too common on it are the hatch covers, and that's about it. So this set is going to feature some more printed elements. I think there's 4 in total, 2 nameplates on the front of the ship, 1 nameplate on the back, and then the side nameplates. So it's all about trying to figure out where you can eliminate your costs or saving your costs. And
Exactly.
the good thing with printing is we send them large back.
Premium for printed brick. Printed brick is a good draw. I found my stickers are a good draw. Having something that you can't get from Bricklink, right, is always a good thing.
And we looked at stickers over printed bricks too, and we just decided, printed bricks are a little bit more durable, so we're gonna go the printed brick route. And it was really cost effective. It was around the same price to have something printed on a brick than a sticker, so we're like, why not?
Well, and all the reason I had to go to stickers for the Saturn V is you just can't print on that kind of curved side of the brick, and also the other thing is my Microfighter series. Once I finally get it out, same thing. I've got a bridge across other brick. It can't be isolated. And
you say that. You say that.
We can do basically any of the 6 shuttles. Did I get my advertisement in? Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We got to get that in ever so often, Derek. Just
yeah, no, it's definitely a challenge printing on some bricks. I know we have sent some bricks to Milling Prints, and they're like, yeah, we can't print on this. So we're like, oh, back to the drawing board then. So then we come back, we'll look at this out, and we're like, what can we change? How can we modify this? And we've had to do that a few times, but thankfully, the bulk of what we're printing on is a minifigure, and you can pretty much print on.
Well, and I noticed your base that you're printing on. I thought this would be harder. We actually, Joe Chambers and I both got some anniversary bricks that will come on our kits, but I was surprised that it was so easy to print on that, even with the studs there. So that does open up a lot at this point.
For sure, yeah. And those minifigure bases, we've printed a few of them now, and actually, this will actually be a first for your show that I'm going to announce this. We're actually going to be we're looking at working with the cast of The Curse of Oak Island, if anybody is familiar.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to be sending custom minifigures to them, and we're actually going to see if they can autograph these plates. So that's going to be the challenge. Either they're going to autograph the plates individually, or we're going to get them to autograph a file, and then we can print that onto the plates. But that's something that we're actively pursuing because we did actually do an Oak Island build not too long ago, and I'll bring it up here to show you guys. This is actually
You got to explain what Oak Island is.
okay. So in Nova Scotia in Canada here, there's an island, and for the last 200 years, people have been digging on it, trying to find a huge buried treasure that's said to exist there. And they have found tons of stuff there. They
No
can't
treasure.
explain how it
Not
got
a
there.
treasure.
Yeah. Well, they have found valuable items there, so you really got to look and define, what is considered treasure to you? Because
Well, true. Yeah.
to some people, if they find a button from the 1600s, to them that can be construed as treasure, right? So, okay, so I'll bring this image up here. The computer decides to load.
Every so often we hear Clark.
Clark just wants to be heard.
Yeah.
So I got it on my screen now. If we can share that, perfect. So this is the famous Oak Island money pit. Back in the day, the story of it is that 3 guys in a boat were boating along the side of the island, and they seen a light, so they ran ashore and they found an oak tree with a depression in the ground, and in the oak tree was a pulley. And they decided, why is the ground depressed? So they started digging. And as they dug down, every 90 feet or every 10 feet, they found a row of timbers. And then at 90 foot, they found a stone with engraving on it. Now, they haven't quite figured out what the engraving on the stone says, because, it's not always that easy when you find something buried beneath ground for a couple hundred years. But as they kept going, they kept finding these round timbers laid across. And eventually, they thought, if you dug down deep enough, you'll find a treasure. But when they got to a certain depth, the tunnel actually flooded. So they thought that there was booby-trapped flood tunnels preventing people from getting to it. So it's a really unique story. And like I said, they have found stuff at certain depths that you really can't explain. And, they've had it tested. One of the things that they actually found was human bone at 200 feet below ground. And when they had it tested, it was tested to be from the Middle East. So, yeah, it's a lot of weird questions that haven't got answered. So when we seen the show, we thought, that'd be a unique thing to build. Lego's not doing anything like that. And
won't.
There's so many fans of the show out there that, they're going to want a little bit of memorabilia. And there's actually a tourist place on Oak Island that greets visitors and has a gift shop. So we thought, let's reach out to them and see if we can work with them. So we're actively doing that.
Cool.
So there's a first reveal of that process.
Nice.
Show.
Thank you.
So whilst we've got a little bit of a pause, we've got some people saying howdy. Mr. B.
Hey, Sam.
And he spotted your box of Delta 2, Joe, and replies with one simple
Delta 3.
Sorry, Delta 3, and he replies with yay Delta.
Of course, I'm building the this is Sam and I are doing started doing a series of what are we calling it?
There was an attempt.
There was an attempt. So I'm doing the Delta 3, which launched 3 times and failed 2.5 times, and then was canceled. And Sam is doing the Black Arrow, which is the only successful launch vehicle. No, Britain is the only nation to reach space and then just cancel their entire space program.
Yep, and
with
that's
the
still
Black
true.
Arrow.
That's still true to this very day.
So there was an attempt.
I'm not
Anyway,
sure if people would trust
And
Boris
the
Johnson.
UAE makes it to Mars.
yeah.
Hey, we made it to Mars in 2003. We just didn't hear back from our lander.
Well, and since we had one that just crashed into the Mars because of a math error, I guess we can't really talk.
And
That was
Canada,
from contractors, not.
the States is doing it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
but Canada's
sorry.
got that great astronaut. I follow him. What is his name?
Chris Hadfield.
Yes, he is a hoot.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He is
Yes.
great.
We have a few astronauts, and actually, Scott, this is it's funny that you invited me onto the show because I was just going to message you about this idea. We have an astronaut here in Sault Ste. Marie by the name of Dr. Roberta Bondar. She went up on, I believe it was the Discovery, and we're interested in producing a small scale set of the Discovery with a custom printed minifigure. So that's something that we would love to have your input on, and maybe partner with you on.
What do you think? Do you think it might look like something like this?
Yeah, that's exactly what we were aiming for, and then just including a minifigure on it. So we might have to have a little chat.
Yeah. So I'm real close to this. We have the printed brick. I've got 6 sets assembled. And one of those goes to Peter because that's how I'm paying him for the graphic design. But we've got a full sticker set that is that can make any of them. So we could definitely do a customized version. You know, I could license it to you if you wanted to procure it yourself. But in the way I've done it, it's right now, well, and it does work. It's got the arm. It's got articulated. It's got a small base because it can dock to the International Space Station.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Now, this is not cheap. Right now, I'm going to be selling it probably for $90.
Okay.
But I think it looks just a little bit better than the Lego version.
I found
it's more to scale.
Yeah. When I was looking at Lego's version, I found it to be very small. And then we actually had we partnered with a designer from the UK. Sam might know this guy, Lewis Berg.
I've heard the name.
He was the Lego Masters UK winner. Him and his dad.
Yes.
Yes. So we partnered with him, and he did a model for us, but the bricks just weren't sourceable. So we ended up releasing that model as a free instruction on the anniversary of the space flight. So we'd be definitely looking at working with another designer to produce an actual set. So
Yeah, no, I'd love to talk.
for sure. Yeah, I think it'd be fantastic. And I think we could get Dr. Roberta Bondar on board, and she'd be thrilled. And it'd be nice to have, something local history that we could put in our store. So
Would you? Sure. She flew on Columbia.
Discovery, I believe, was the
Discovery. Yeah, that is definitely my favorite. Yeah.
And it's funny that you showed off that arm in your set there. That is the Canadian arm. And
the Canada arm.
Canada
arm. So there'll be a sticker that will wrap around this rod that will have the Canada arm logo on it. So got to have that.
For sure. One of our big contributions to space science.
Maybe we could cheat a little, and it's going to have a United States flag there because it's the camera image. Maybe we could cheat a little and have a Canadian flag there for your version.
Yeah, for sure. Any way that we can brand it Canadian, I'm sure fellow Canadians will love. So.
Okay, so we have Kevin has joined us in the chat as well. He says hello. He says, "Hi, Derek. What does your shirt say? Is that the name of your shop?"
Yeah, so my shirt says the Brickspace. This is our actual company logo. And these shirts are actually available for purchase on our store right now. And all proceeds go to opening our store.
And if I can remember where I placed it, here's the handy link to the website.
For sure. And all the information about our business is on there. including our web store, the services that we offer, a little bit about the history of how we were founded and stuff like that. It's all there for anybody to check out. And I'd like to take a moment to shout out my website designer, Lisa, who did a fantastic job. She's pretty much my Jane of all trades. Yeah. Whenever I need something
Hi,
done,
Kevin. How's it going?
yeah, she's the one to do it. So.
Hey, Kevin, we've got to talk. I think maybe you need to be a guest someday.
Yeah. I've seen his name pop up so many times now in the comments, but never on the show itself.
Well,
he always
always
has snarky comments on Facebook.
yeah, I would say that, Derek, just so you know, we're all pretty much alums of Bricks in Space group. And so,
Oh, nice. I was going to say that the space stuff kind of gave it away that you guys were all
and that was
involved.
kind of organic. I mean, we all we have a technical background, most of us. Although Mr. Bradford is a musician, a professional musician. So we broach that. Unfortunately, we do have an electrical engineer on the show,
i.e. a real engineer.
but there's a little interdiscipline rivalry that we carry on.
I'm pretty sure in all engineering walks of life, they're always competing with each other. It's like what was it on The Big Bang Theory, the Sheldon Howard rivalry?
He's only an engineer.
Yeah,
but it's whenever I talk to people who've bought my instructions, it's literally 75% are, oh, I'm a computer scientist, or I'm an engineer, or I'm somewhere in the technical field. For some reason seems to just attract space girls. I don't know.
Space is a good theme. I remember trying to think what the first space Lego set I ever bought or got was. I think it was the if you remember the old ice planet theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had one.
Yeah, it was a truck that carried a giant rocket on the back.
And that's a very popular. That shows up a lot at conventions.
Yeah. I know my dad used to have to wrangle me every day in the winter trying to. So always running out the door trying to put it in the snow, and he'd be like, "No."
Yeah, it's not real ice.
Yeah.
So Kevin's responded to your request to have him on the show, Scott. He says, I'm a bit camera shy. I think I'll just stay as a viewer.
Okay.
I totally get it, Kevin.
You could always pull, I'm trying to think of there's a Lego guy on YouTube who does reviews. He wears a giant bug mask.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can always pull one of those.
There's the guy that's in Bionicles that always wears a Bionicle mask.
Okay. That'll work too. Yeah.
But I think, no, I understand. I mean, being an engineer, this did not come naturally.
Yeah. Same for me when I started live stream. The first show that we ever did was a little bit iffy because it was new. I was still learning StreamYard and stuff like that. But the more and more you do it, you get more comfortable. And now, look at me. Here I am. So I've actually.
Are you producing any? Or do you have a YouTube channel? Or are you doing any?
We do have a YouTube channel. We haven't quite got so much content onto it because we've been focusing on, getting the business up and running. But it is called Brickspace TV. It's out there. I think it has a commercial on it right now for our museum building block set that Jason designed. We will be looking at adding more content to it eventually. We're just, getting around to it. But I did finish the prototype model for one of our sets. So this is the cross on the hill.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, nice.
In our hometown, there's a giant cross that sits on a hill overlooking the city, and it was made back in the 60s to replace a giant wooden one that they said the founders set up when they came to Canada. So this is a remake of that huge 120-foot cross. We tried to get, the white pieces in glow in the dark and 3D print them, but the filament just wouldn't work with us. So we ended up having to do it in white until, Lego decides to release a glow in the dark option, or, we decide to glow in the dark spray paint them. Or it's another option, but yeah, so that's it's actually, this is going on sale on the 16th, and this one's going to retail for about, I think, $19.99 was the end price that we decided on.
I hear radon paint is really popular and very easy to get, and has no health side effects. You should try that.
Well, anybody who buys it is welcome to try their own methods for painting it. Brickspace is not responsible for any
any fingers falling off.
You may
third eyes shall be decided. Yeah, any third eyes will be considered a benefit.
Yeah, it's hard to say. But so it's a lot of our builds we're focusing on local history and stuff like that. We have looked at doing some pixel art of 8-bit video game characters, but once again, with that stuff, you got to kind of watch what you're getting into with copyright and stuff like that. So
yeah,
we're trying new stuff every day.
You just have to talk to Kevin Hinkle about that issue.
Yeah.
How did he get in trouble?
In your experiences with the space stuff, have you guys run into much issues reproducing?
No, because NASA luckily is totally public domain.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and in fact, on some of my instructions, as credits for images and graphics and everything, at the end I just go, all images credit NASA, public domain, something to that effect.
Right.
Whereas if I'm doing stuff for ULA, like the Delta 4s over there, I actually do have to go in there and say, credit ULA. Yeah, it just depends on what it is, but most of the stuff is public domain because it's always some kind of agency.
Yeah, I think Elon with SpaceX has kind of did that as well, because one guy was like, "Oh, I want to create, a video game based on SpaceX. Can I do it?" And Elon tweeted out to him, he's like, "Well, I won't sue you if you do, so."
You better keep that. Yeah, I would like to do a dragon, but I'm going to do a Crew Dragon.
Well, Mr. B has some SpaceX stuff.
He does. I have his Falcon 9 here.
Yeah, so I'm going to have this as a little on my Etsy store because it can dock to the Idea space station. So I'll have it soon.
We do this fantastic thing too. Every Friday on our website, we release a little free instruction, usually between 0 and 100 pieces. So actually, if you guys want to submit a design or sponsor a design for that, we're totally open to doing that as well. We'd love to have some space themed stuff. The last couple of weeks have been a lighthouse, a race car, and a GameStop reproduction, which we titled Game Stonks because we had to get into that meme culture to ride the
Game Stonks.
Yeah.
Is 15 parts too small?
No, 15 parts is perfect. I think the smallest one we did was like 37. So
I could hold a record for the smallest part count, man.
Good.
I'm just thinking a 1-to-110 scale of Black Arrow.
Yes.
It's 11 centimeters tall and it's 15 parts.
That would be perfect. Actually, I'll see if I can bring up the game Stonks that we did, because it was.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, it was really good. And I'll bring up the reference photo as well.
Game stonks.
Joe, it's done.
What is the Black Arrow?
It's. I have to redesign that interstage. It's broken about 5 times whilst trying to put it back together.
That's awesome. So what
But-
you're looking at is Britain's only orbital launch vehicle
Yep.
that they promptly canceled after success.
We did a good thing.
Yeah. What is it you're working on, Scott?
I
It looks
I,
like you're from Star Wars, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It is. It's
What
the,
is Star Wars?
Wars.
Wait.
That far south, Joe.
What is Star Wars?
Yeah. What
Joe
is it?
just knows that we try to be drama free on this, so I can't express my thoughts.
I have got a banner ready that says warning adult language. Don't make me use it.
So I have the GameStop up on my screen if you guys want to share that now.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is the reference photo that we used. As you can see,
Awesome.
a GameStop store. And here is the model that we ended up coming up with.
I love it.
We
Did you buy any?
well, we released it as a free instruction. So actually, anybody who wants to can go on our website and download the instructions. And if you have the parts at home to build this, go for it.
No, I meant, did anybody here buy any stock?
Oh
I
no,
know.
I got into it late.
Yeah.
By the time I got money transferred over to Wealthsimple, the stock was going down. So I was like, missed it. But
Yeah, I don't trust my money on the stock exchange. I don't make enough money to make money on the stock exchange.
Exactly.
Because if I lose money, I can't go whining to my rich friends to give me a stimulus.
for
Yeah.
sure.
We don't
And
have
like-
that audience.
With my company, we try to get into the we try to use meme culture to promote us as much as possible. So
Good idea.
I'll bring up another image. This is actually a humorous one that we did. It got a lot of praise. People loved it. The computer will load it.
Of the, while you bring that up, of these 20th anniversary sets, I think this one's the most fun. I do like that the stormtroopers are just a 1x1 round on top of one of those post 1x1 rounds.
Oh, nice.
I can't
Okay.
Stand by.
It's cute.
Brilliant.
Even Bernie's waiting, for our
Oh
storm-
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we try to have a little humor with the company, which is good. So
Have you seen the brick built, Bernie?
yes, we were trying to do one like a few days before that one popped up, and he beat us to it, and we're like, oh darn! But
Yeah. it was
fantastic.
cute.
Yeah, ours wouldn't have came close to the quality that he would have done. So yeah, he did a really good job. And we find that there's a lot of talented designers out there, even people that we've reached out to that haven't quite got back to us yet. There's some really good builds out there that we would love to turn into a kit. I know another one that we're working on, and this one's nowhere near to being put out there in completion, but we're in talks with doing a Supernatural Impala.
A what?
The Supernatural 67 Impala.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we find that one would be a good build to utilize the chroming of Lego bricks. So we're looking at. We found somebody who built a 6-wide version, and we had offered, we'll buy the model if you can make it a 12-wide or a 10-wide, so that we can put some minifigs in it.
Well, the new 8-wide can take 2 minifigs.
Okay, so that would be another perfect scale too. Yeah, so
Yeah, the 8 wide Speed Champions.
yeah, Speed Champions is another line that I bought a lot of, but I've looked at a few. Every time I'm in that Lego aisle, and I'm like, oh, this looks nice. Yeah, so.
So Joe, what are you working on?
Oh, like I said, I'm working on the Delta 3. It's a modification of my Delta 2. Because, surprise, surprise, the Delta 3 was a modification of the Delta 2. Yeah, so, I mean, that's my Delta 2 right there. 1 to 73 scale. Yeah, and I'm kind of doing a test build here and planning on releasing the instructions for kind of the Delta 2, Delta 3 series all at the same time. And you can find those instructions probably within the next couple weeks and all of my other amazing creations at my Etsy store, Skylab Bricks. You can get such things as my, oh my gosh, humongous 7.5 launch Umbilical Tower.
You know what? I think I've actually seen a couple of my friends who I follow on Facebook building that thing. And from what I've seen, it's a beast.
Yeah, it's
that's putting it politely.
The base version is 8,600 pieces, and then you can add the what is it, 10,000 piece Launch Complex 39 that I designed with Sam Bradford, Mr. B.
What's the part count on the Coliseum?
9,000.
That's
it's only like 8,000.
Yeah, that model behind you there, the Umbilical Tower, that's gonna lap it once, maybe twice.
Hey, but I think I still win the most bricks in a built.
I think I win the most bricks in the build.
What?
Mr. 34,000 points over there.
Yeah, because version 6 comes in at just under 40,000 bricks.
Oh wow!
Oh my word!
That's crazy.
And not a single 1x1 plate.
No, no plates. No 1x1 plates.
No 1x1 plates.
Yeah, we're the dreaded 1x1 plates. We feel the pain with those. A lot of our builds, especially the museum that Jason designed, has a lot of those.
Okay, so I really do have to ask, what is the deal with 1x1 plates? Why don't you like them, Scott?
God, you hate us, Joe.
You want the whole lecture?
Yeah, well, what's the deal?
Hang on a second. I need a banner for this.
No, seriously, I have no idea why you hate them so much.
You do too.
No, I don't. You've never explained it to me. You just laugh about it and then we move on.
Kid designer, I don't like that 1x1s rotate.
He'd hate your Mars surface, basically.
They can be off. They can be misaligned, and they don't.
True.
So, and unfortunately, one of my most popular kits has 12 1x1 plates in it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, we want to try and stop using 1x1 plates as much as possible.
I don't
Now,
think
I have been trying to adopt Legos where you put rounds in if you need to bulk up something in weird colors, and that seems to work pretty well. I'm trying to bring up, I was going to show, I just got the final.
It's 1x1
printed
plates
brick.
you don't like, isn't it, Scott? You're all right with brick.
More than I don't like the brick either, but sometimes you've got to use them on the inside. So I try not to have any expressed on the outside.
Yeah, and you can get rid of 3 1x1 plates with 1 1x1 brick. So
Yes.
benefits to using them. Yeah, we're working on another model for another museum in North Bay, Ontario, and unfortunately, we had to use 1x1 plates in a majority of that build, and it's also become tedious because at one point we had the part count was over 3,000 pieces just in the build, and we're like, so we were looking at it and we're like, okay, so that's 3,000 pieces total in the build. It's about $400 to order all the parts. No museum is going to buy this design, and that's another one that we were working on with Jason. So we ended up splitting, like we broke into 2 teams, and we decided to redesign the entire model, and we ended up coming up with the one that I have on my screen now, and yeah, we had to use 1x1 plates a lot extensively through it, but it's turning out to be quite the good model. So another little preview for the first time ever seeing it here. Once again, we're not sure if this is going to be in production. It's for a client, so they ultimately decide if it goes up for sale, but it's quite the interesting model. It used to be a train station, so it's built similar to HO scale. That's what they had requested for their clientele. So yeah, we're hoping that it gets made. It was a pretty amazing model.
Huh.
Speaking of Jason at Playwell Bricks, he helped me with this beastie.
Oh, nice.
He did my printed bricks.
Okay, so the printed bricks on your TARDIS right there comes from our printer at Million Prints.
There you go then. So you held.
So well, it's all Jason because he got them made for you. But yeah, Jason and I both go to the same guy at Million Prints.
Yeah, he did
our bricks.
Fantastic work. I ordered them. Must have been like the 1st of December, and they were here like 6 days later, and that includes international shipping from Canada. Yeah,
well, Million Prints, if he can, he'll send everything FedEx or Pure later, which is like next day. At least for me, it's within 2 days. Yeah,
they were here before half the bricks for the actual TARDIS were here.
Oh, wow.
And I'd ordered them at least 6 days before ordering the printed bricks.
Yeah,
and I really think it makes the build so much better. It just turns it from a blue box to, oh no, that is actually the TARDIS.
For sure. And Lego released the TARDIS, if I wasn't mistaken, right?
Yeah, theirs is a lot smaller.
Yeah, well, you know,
it's like this big.
We're trying to make things so super small, you know, to try and save money. And well,
but they had a ideas set, but it did come with minifigures of the Doctor.
Yeah. Now, did it come with printed plates as well, or was that stickers?
Yeah, I think it did. Scott's got one on his back shelf. He won't admit to it, but I know it's there.
Derek, you're among a group of people who go, wait, Lego made a set for that, but it is entirely undetailed. we need to make it more detailed.
Yeah, well, you know, that's another thing we look at too is we look at some Lego designs and we're like, you know, how can we improve this without getting sued? So you know, we're always looking at ways to improve existing Lego products. I know whenever I buy a modular building, I put it into our 46 square foot Lego city, and I'm looking at the police station that was just released, and I'm already thinking in my head of ways that I can modify it because I don't like how it's not a corner building. I was like, we need more corner buildings. So I've seen online that people have built stairs for it on one side. So I'm already prepared. As soon as I get that building, I'm modifying it, turning it into a corner piece. Yeah, so.
I've only got 4 out of 9 boosters.
4 out of 9. It's not enough. Keep going.
So, Sam, I'm trying this one without the rigid hose piece going through the middle.
Yeah, that makes
And it
sense.
seems to be fine without it.
Oh, good. So you can
Yeah.
remove the bit that makes me curse every time, going, "Why do you hate me, Joe? Why do you hate me so?"
Well, let's go back to the year 1776.
I thought we got over that.
You're going.
You still have a king.
Queen.
Whatever.
Funny enough, Mr. B sent
Technically,
me-
Derek, doesn't Canada still recognize the sovereignty of the British royalty?
Yeah, kinda. We don't exist. We don't really care. Like, hey, you stay over there. We'll stay over
Hey.
here.
That's kind
But,
of the same for like Australia and things as well.
It's funny that you hold the grudge for Sam with 1776. Remember, we burnt the White House down once.
That's true.
Yeah, I know.
They
Well,
did a
that's
better
funny
job.
because someone recently did that. I mean, whoops, I didn't say that out loud.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Good.
history is a funny thing. Has a funny way of repeating itself sometimes.
It does. Has anybody else seen the video that Mr. B sent me a video on Facebook the other day? It was a video on TikTok that said the guy going, the UK strain has made it to the US, and then going, oh, we're not calling it now. And then there's a British guy with a cup of tea standing there going, oh no, good sir, I believe we're calling it The Empire Strikes Back. Woof. And you're just there going, yeah, okay. I'll have to get him to send it around to you because that's brilliant.
At least some people are finding the humor in the pandemic, and I know
Those of us with chronic anxiety.
but at least somebody's laughing about something. It's not always like death and dread. It's like, we're trying.
Yeah.
Dread.
Yeah, I know things haven't gotten too bad here. We've had I think 100 or something cases in total in the area that I'm at. We're currently in a lockdown right now that expires, I think, tomorrow when we move to like a gradual reopening system. So, there's a light at the end of the tunnel ish.
Yeah. One of the engineers I work with was able to get the vaccine last week.
Yeah.
So, but his wife works in a nursing home, so that's why.
Yeah. We're still rolling it out to care workers, people in old folks' homes and stuff like that. But I know as soon as it comes out to the general public, I'll be getting it because I've been vaccinated for everything else in my life. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. Whoops. Who designed this thing? It's just too complex.
I gotta get that picture of the meme where it's the guy in the mirror pointing at himself.
Right. Well, in this case, I think he's complaining about Sam.
Oh.
No, he's complaining about himself there. He designed Delta 3.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with this.
Never mind.
Yeah, you would not believe how hard it was to design something that has 9 boosters around the circle. Uh-oh. I think I've lost everyone.
No, still there.
We're still.
Okay. Well, my video has frozen. Anyway, fitting 9 boosters around the circumference of the center core is actually a really interesting problem.
It would be amazing if you could find a way to make your rocket powered by Mentos and Coke.
Ooh.
That would
An episode of Mythbusters.
yeah.
Did I hear that it doesn't work with Diet Coke? Is that true?
I'm not entirely sure. I've only tried it with Coke myself, but it would be interesting if you could build some kind of Lego friendly propulsion system that doesn't damage bricks, that actually sends something up a fair bit.
That would be interesting.
Bricks.
They've done that with launching. They didn't Lego launch a model of their ISS into up on a weather balloon, I think it was.
Really?
I think there was
Yeah.
an astronaut minifig. I think it was the minifig. I don't think it was a full set. I think it was just a minifig. If
I know it was a big. I know they put loads of stuff, but they launched it on the weather balloon, and you go, actually, that's not a bad idea because when it gets up there, it's just going to go poop and.
You know, I follow a guy on Twitter who does high altitude balloon, but it's a triangular shape that's reusable and comes down on a parachute. But he takes stuff up too, and I thought it might be fun to try and get him to take either my Saturn V or the orbiter. That would be fun.
I wonder if the I'm not too sciencey myself, but is it the velocity of it going back to the Earth? Would that pull it apart? Maybe.
It would more than likely destroy it, but
I was gonna say I don't think it'll make it to the ground.
I think
It's not
it's
the fall that kills you. It's the sudden stop at the end. You know.
Yeah. That's my dad always used to say that. Yeah,
I'd like to see Joe's MLV go up there.
Yes. Did I show you it? Yeah, it's sitting there next to the Saturn V, like to scale.
How many pieces in that bad boy?
Oh, I don't know.
3 Saturn Vs.
That
Pretty
would
much 3 Saturn V sets, probably.
make a nice family outing through the fields. We got to go find all my pieces.
This is our fat uncle, Dave. No, that's
Where's the
So I
beach
found-
where, Lego washes up on the beach all the time? Where is that?
what was
I
that?
would say that's in England, right, Sam?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
I don't know.
remember this story. A shipping back in I want to say the 50s, a ship transporting Lego sank, and Lego's been washing up on a beach.
Yeah, no, it's Cornwall.
Yes,
I thought that was the no, it's a beach in France where Garfield phones keep washing up for the same reason. Like those phones that were made from Garfield, the cat.
Right?
Yeah, there's a place in France where those phones keep washing up because for
well,
the
I guess
same reason.
that boat would have been probably going to the States at the time with
Probably.
products, so they probably had more than just Lego on it, for sure.
I have
See,
to move
you
down.
know what we talk about on this show.
You think we talk about important things?
We don't talk about world issues or anything like that. It's all about Lego and space and how we can get our stuff into space.
Into space. So, Derek, do you have a Bricklink shop?
We do actually. So back when before everything Brickspace started, we actually started a Bricklink store called Twin Sioux Bricks. So our full name of our business is the Brickspace / Twin Sioux Bricks, because the Brickspace is the store experience, and then Twin Sioux Bricks is the Bricklink experience. And
Okay.
in our store, we're actually going to build a kiosk so that if you come in and we don't have it in the store, you can just log on to Bricklink, buy it, and have it shipped to the store for you. And and then you can pay us. We'll use the store credit card to pay your order. That way, there's no money between the customer and Bricklink being exchanged. It's all handled within the store there. And that way, if somebody comes in and they're like, "Oh, I don't know how to use Bricklink," well, we can have a person in the store, either teach them or be like, "Well, that's fine. We can do the order for you, and it's no hassle purchase."
Right.
So, yeah. So
Great
we're a lot of plans with stuff like that, and then we're also in talks. I've talked to a couple of the Lego Masters from the U.S. series, and we're thinking about having them come to the store when we open after COVID for like an opening night, Lego Masters night. So we're in talks with a couple of them for that. as well. So.
They're nice folks. They are very
Yeah,
nice.
I've talked with a couple of the female contestants and Sam. I want drawing a blank on his last name now. I know it starts with an H. But yeah, everyone I've talked to has been really fantastic, and they're really nice people.
Well, and Boone and Mark are nice too, but I think they're just
I haven't had a chance to touch base with Boone yet. A friend of mine actually received a Lego order through Bricklink from him. So I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, oh, supplying a Lego master now. You've hit the big time.
That's right.
So, yeah. But,
Hey, 6 down, 3 to go. Okay, so you also do a lot of stuff with. Are you doing 3D printed bricks yourself?
yeah. So we originally, we looked at we bought some. I want to say it's Tricks Bricks Track. So we seen that Lego Track is able to be 3D printed. So we're like, we could print other kind of bricks that nobody's ever thought of, like say for example a Lego to Connects piece, or a Duplo to Connects piece, or something like that.
Oh,
or somebody comes up.
I have an old Connects roller coaster. Anyway, keep going.
Now integrate Lego.
Now, do you have the printer yet, Derek?
Sorry.
Do you have the printer yet?
Yeah, we have a Creality Ender 3. It's a little fantastic machine. We have printed some Lego on it. Let me see if I can snag a piece.
So Scott, I'm going to ask him about what.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was my idea, so I still get to.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
I still have to run it by him though.
Yeah. No, I just have been having trouble connecting with my guy here. So yeah.
So I don't have a 3D Lego that we've printed, but we have printed one of these.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it's for mounting onto a wall, and then you can mount a Lego set into it. And I have a little Lego minifigure here to show off.
So Derek,
Nice.
here is I had a friend in the UK print me up some. Mr. Chambers LUT uses like 11 billion red versions of this brick.
Here.
11
This right
billion.
here, it uses minimum 147.
Wow.
$3 or $4 each on Bricklink. And I came up with the design of a little more realistic version. That,
Okay. Yeah.
If I sent you some concepts, is that something you might be interested in collaborating on?
Yeah, for sure. We can 3D print it. I haven't quite gotten my printer calibrated to be as exact to Lego as I want it to be. So we're still tweaking and working that. And I'm not all too good with CAD myself, so I have to hire a CAD artist eventually. But I can definitely take a look at it and see if it'd be more cost effective to 3D print those parts in mass.
Because that is the single limiting factor on me feeling good about continuing to sell instructions for that thing.
Right.
And you're like, oh, which person am I gonna condemn to building this?
Yeah, no. Actually, the latest version I just released, I replaced most of those with the same size panel piece, and just made this huge note saying, "Hey, the original design uses these fence pieces, so if you want to, look for them, but good luck."
Yeah.
So
a couple of the pieces for the museum actually come in at about $1 each. So
really,
and I'll bring up that. Actually, I think Sam actually had an image of it up earlier. I'm not sure if he still has that, or was it Scott? I think I've seen it. I'll see if I can bring up
Possibly Scott had it up.
Okay.
and he's not paying attention.
Oh, I am.
All good.
I don't know what you're talking about. Which piece?
A model of the Sioux Museum, but I'll bring up a better render from studio. yeah, it'll be a lot.
Yeah, you got to be careful about those mechanical engineers. They kind of don't pay attention to certain things. He's not listening. See? He's not listening.
I know what I could say. To the moon. Just send it to the moon, Joe.
He's trying. He's still building his rocket.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, getting back to the whole NASA copyright thing, though, that's actually pretty good. That all their stuff is what do you call it?
Public domain.
Public domain, yeah. Because for the Roberta Bondar minifigure that we were planning, and a NASA spacesuit would fall into that, public domain. So that would make reproducing that.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. So I think the only thing we'd have to worry about there is the actual likeness of the person, which I'm sure we could get that no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a lot of custom minifigs that we have planned now that we've done the Bond Sufig, and it's been very well received and stuff like that. So we threw out a poll and we were asking people, what do you want to see next? And we have this local OHL hockey team called the Sioux Greyhounds, and that's people have been asking, do the hockey team, and Lego does have that hockey minifigure, so we are able to reprint on the hockey parts. So, but I do have the Sioux Museum up now. If I'll bring that up.
Okie dokie, there we go.
So this building, the part count on it. Initially when we went to start purchasing parts, it was $100 to buy the parts for one set.
Yeah.
Okay.
Post-pandemic, it's now $145.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're kind of lagging behind in getting it, but we're working as hard as we can to finish getting the parts. I think we got 50 individual pieces, types to purchase yet. The only thing is, some of those parts we need 1,000 of, or 500 of.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's not just me. During the pandemic, Lego prices have been going up, right?
Oh yeah. I think we started buying to build at home. The market just it shot up, and one of our local news places actually asked me, have you seen an uptick during the pandemic? And I was like, oh, for sure. Everyone's stuck at home. What's one thing that families can do together, and that's build Lego. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe now's not a good time for me to be doing all these prototype builds.
You know what?
Maybe not.
At least
if you're only going to do one, it's kit production is getting a bit dicey at this point.
Well, thankfully, I bought all my Skylab kit parts several months ago.
I think the good thing about doing kit production now is that your costs will be higher. So it's kind of like, I'm accounting for, a little bit of price difference. So pre-pandemic, when everything drops back down, you'll save a little bit of money, but you'll still have that wiggle room. So.
Hey, we have the one and only Mr. B back with us.
Hey.
Let me get him added in here. Here we go.
Oh, there he is.
Hey guys.
Driving your Zamboni this morning?
No, that's later tonight though.
Okay.
Hey, you missed something with your razor.
I don't think you heard you, Scott.
Yeah. We're talking about your chin scruff, Mr. B. Can you hear us? Are you?
Oh no, I think you might be frozen.
You might be frozen.
That
Or
looks
deeply
like
offended.
Man,
That's hilarious.
I'll drop him back out until he comes back.
Okay.
Oh, there, as I do that, he appears back.
Yeah, there we go.
Internet's being weird.
Yeah.
there he is.
It's too much Lego awesome in one place.
Girlfriend likes the fuzz. You're okay.
Your face was frozen on this like real shocked look. You're like,
I can't believe you just said that sort of look.
yeah. Anyway. Okay.
So I've shifted on to another task.
I was just about to ask what you were doing there, Scott. I've noticed bins upon bins upon bins.
So I just did a major, I think about 3,000 brick, 23 some vendors, but snuck into those for doing kit production. I had 2 mocks I'm going to make. One of them, it's all Mr. B's fault because he got me on to F1. What's his Maniac or
F1 Lego Mock, I think is what it's.
Yeah, F1 Lego Mock.
Handle is.
So I'm going to build the W11, the 2020 Mercedes with the that took Lewis Hamilton to his 7th World Championship.
This is the one I have, by the way.
Yeah. My stickers are on their way, and he did make some more of the tires, or he's going to. And then also, I'm building. Is it Night Bridge? Is that his name?
Are you doing this shuttle?
I am. I'm
Night.
doing a 110 scale.
Night.
But I think I'm going to do that one as a time lapse. I think it might be fun, and so I need it somewhat sorted out to do it as a time lapse. So I'm getting it a little more organized, but I still have.
Do that one too.
Sorting Lego is always a fun, relaxing task.
Is it though?
It can be.
It can be.
I'm thankful I have a little brother who I pay $15 an hour to sort mine. So
How much?
15 minimum wage here in Canada. He's picky a little bit. But some days I can get away with buying him a free lunch.
There you go.
To be honest, that's all you need to buy me a free lunch. I
I'll
operate
tell you what.
on food.
With
ship it
Sam,
to you.
that is not an inexpensive endeavor. This man can eat.
I can, but then I can also then skip breakfast because I don't have to worry about it. Then I'm going to go, I've had a big meal.
Note to self: ship Sam some Lego and maple syrup.
No, if he definitely ships me maple syrup, that's it. I'm sold. I normally have a yearly trip to Canada, but Scott's taken that.
Do you need
So
more
Yeah,
fried
Sam, why don't you ship us some of that famously bland British food?
I'm trying to think what you mean here because my food is amazing when I cook it. I don't know.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just kidding.
I make the best food.
Well, someone was saying to me, "Oh, I love British food. They have the best kebabs." And
Okay, not British, but yeah.
yeah, exactly. What's that line from Talladega Nights? We have pizza, that's Italian, and we have French fries, those are French.
Are
We
they
got
really?
barbecue.
No, I don't know.
That's
I don't
that's
think they're actually.
debate. Are French fries actually French?
I don't think they are.
No, I think they are American actually.
That would make sense. Americans like, hey, let's fry everything. We'll drop a potato.
That's why I want to go to Spa so badly. Is I want the pommes frites and beer.
Oh yeah.
Ask Gethin if he can go do his British GT meeting over there.
I tried to float that with your boss, and he's not buying it yet.
Not a surprise.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait till after the pandemic, but yeah, that'd be a good trip. Always wanted to go to London myself.
I'm trying to convince everyone to come over once this all dies down, or because the funny thing is, the only person on this on this show that I've actually met in real life is Scott.
Yeah.
So I'd actually quite like to meet Sam and Joe.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a nice big convention of everybody together. I know I haven't went to too many Lego conventions, and I definitely want to go to one of the Brick Worlds. I know I was aiming to go to Legoland New York this year, but COVID-19 had other plans, and then of course Toy Fair is also in New York, so I was gonna try and aim it for the same time. So.
But as a store owner, you should be able to get access.
For sure, and that's what I was going to look for, to go in and get access like that. But once the pandemic, makes everything a little bit more difficult. But we'll see what the future holds, I guess.
Right, everything. That's not.
Yeah.
Are you just doing a storefront? Are you also doing like Bricklinkers?
So we have a Bricklink store as well. It's called Twin Sioux Bricks. We've been in operation since 2009. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's actually where we started, and then we were like, we could go so much bigger and actually open up a storefront. And then I posted a Lego build on my Facebook one day, and my friends were like, "Oh, I built a Lego too," and I was like, "What? What am I just hearing about this now? Like, seriously? There's actually Lego fans in my hometown?" So, who would have thunk? But yeah, so big plan, hopefully, and I hope it's a hit here because I think kids will love it. So.
Sorry, I'm back.
Doing some good old toddler wrangling.
Three-nanger. He's 3, and he wanted some more 1x8 yellow tiles.
Oh wow!
And then I found a bunch in my. I gotta sell these to Bricks and Minifigs when I have time bag.
It's funny that at 3 years old he's that descriptive.
No, he just said, "I want more of these."
I was gonna say
it's not. Yeah. Now, if you want to talk about planets, he's way into the planets, right, buddy? Yeah. Okay. He's doing surprisingly well, guys. The fact that I'm still here talking to you and he hasn't had a meltdown is okay.
Well, he gets to have all the Lego he wants this afternoon for being so awesome.
Yep.
You're going to be when he goes through his dark period.
Actually, Actually, when he's a teenager, I'm looking forward to that because then we can blow stuff up together.
That's when you got to get your propulsion system for your miniature rocket going.
I'm not kidding. It's safe, dear. I'm supervising.
I'm supervising. I'm an electrical engineer. That just means I know how to make the boom bigger.
More electric.
Yeah, I think when you have kids and you let them explore with Lego and experiment, it's great. As a kid growing up, my dad pretty much popped me in a room and was like, here's a bin of Lego, have fun. And then he'd come back like an hour later and be like, I haven't heard from you in 6 hours, so you all right?
Yeah, it's remarkable how close that sounds to neglect, but hey, it's fun neglect.
Well, yeah. Well, we kind of lived out in the middle of nowhere in the country, so there wasn't really a whole lot to do around unless when it's minus 40 degrees and it's snow blowing outside. It's like, oh, can't go outside. Yeah. So those days were
all 9 boosters.
Yeah, you could definitely rocket those somehow.
Black Arrow's in pieces again.
Oh
You can
no!
recreate the proton explosion.
Yes.
Oh, did you see the image of the SN9 crash
Yes.
that has Star Wars figures on it?
What?
No.
That it's pretty funny. It's the wreckage after it crashed, and on top of it are some of the Tatooine, whatever those weird creatures
The
are.
sand.
Oh,
Sand
the,
people.
Okay.
Sand people. Oh.
It's a hoot.
Or the Jawas. I'm trying to think this because there's two natives to Tatooine that those could be. If you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the Sky collectors, that would be the Jawas.
so we've also got Peter with us now.
Oh no!
It's
Oh, hey,
Hello.
There he is.
Holy minifigure!
hey,
Yeah, you should see his minifig collection.
it's huge.
oh yeah.
That's what she
We
said.
don't need. We need a full show for him to describe the.
I've got a big collection myself too, but sadly they're all in little plastic bags in my storage unit. One day they shall make an appearance out.
Oh, I tell you what I need to do. I'm doing this all wrong.
So, Scott, I saw your email about the Discovery missing decals.
Yeah.
They were all there. I just opened up the file and I'm getting a lot of weird bugs. Like all the pieces have turned to question marks, and then some. I'm not sure what's going on, so I think I'm gonna recreate all the parts, delete them, and then recreate them. Well, I mean, I have the part designer file saved, so it's just a matter of exporting.
Right. I wonder what happened because
I don't know, but someone in the Facebook group was having this problem as well.
Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
No, I have not.
Speaking of that, actually, I just tried opening it, and the overhead was just totally bogging everything down. But Mr. B, you're on Affinity now, right?
Yeah.
Did you upgrade to 1.9 yet?
I'm not sure.
I just updated to 1.9, and now they won't open.
Are we talking about Studio 1.9?
No, this is Affinity. It's kind of like Adobe, but cheaper.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I was going to say, if you're talking about studio errors, I've had a multitude of them myself since updating to the newest version. So
I never update to the latest version because I know by the time it's offered it to me on my laptop, I can see the comments in the studio Lego Studio Designers group. And I sit there and go, "Yeah, we'll be updating that then."
yeah, I sadly did not pay attention. I was like, "Oh, new parts update." Darn.
Yeah, Scott, I'm
I don't
on
remember.
1.9.0.
Anyway, I'm kind of stuck because I've got some instructions or some packages I need to revise, and I can't open the file.
That one. I think that goes there.
Hey, Sam, have you looked at the new spec version of that Gethin is getting us for the U.S.? The laptop. I should probably finish my sentences.
My
Sam?
silence is a indication that I have no clue what you're talking about.
Okay. So we begged for better laptops that have HDMI, and it appears.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think you're getting that.
Well, according to Sarah,
Pardon?
we're getting one of them, according to Sarah.
Yeah, I think basically what I think happened is the request went to a particular individual. Oh, funny enough, Sarah's watching. She's just messaged me to tell me.
She's monitoring. Shut the mouth.
She now, so I do know what you're talking about, and it's an alright laptop. It has a HDMI port like you requested.
Well, the reason I ask is I've been noticing my laptop is really slow, and I'm asking more and more and more of it. And the price isn't too bad on those things. And being Dell, I should be able to get it through Best Buy to get my Geek Squad support. But anyway, I guess I wanted to know what you thought about that, or if you have a better suggestion on a more powerful laptop.
Yeah, no, I just broke it all. So,
Do you want to spend $1,500?
yeah, this is the thing. If you it depends how much money you want to spend, really.
Um,
I was
Man.
on mute. Hey guys, I gotta go. The
Okay.
limit to Clark's patience has boiled over. Anyway.
Okay. He's probably hungry. Go feed him.
Yeah, Derek, it was good talking
Yeah,
to you.
it's nice meeting you and chatting with you too, man. Hopefully we can do it again sometime.
And I would be more than happy to do a design with you guys. Just
Yeah.
let me know.
Yeah, well, I'll reach out to Scott and I'll get all the info from everybody from today's show, and yeah, we'll definitely look at collaborating in the future.
Okay.
Awesome.
We'll see you guys later. Mr.
Bye.
B, Peter, Scott, Sam. Talk to you guys later.
See ya. Bye-bye.
See ya. I like Joe.
He seems like a great guy.
Could I do something fairly decent for, I don't know, 1,200?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Reminds me, I gotta look at buying a new laptop now. My screen's got a line through it. And it's like, oh, Pixel Test. Lovely. It's been with me for a good 8 years.
Yeah, we might have someone else in the green room.
Oh, Greg, he's Scott's been trying to get in touch with him. Oh, so he's happy to join. Well, let's bring Greg in then.
Is this
Hello,
Mr.
Greg.
Facebook?
Hey guys.
He took my idea. He got an avatar.
Is that you, Mr. Fastbend?
Yep. I'm just
Oh.
here doing paperwork, catching up. So I have nothing interesting to show on the camera.
I don't know. That Lego minifig is looking pretty darn interesting.
Yeah, that's me right there.
Yeah, that's not a figure. That's a webcam selfie.
Have you guys seen that Zoom call where the person's built like a minifig rig to hold a Benifig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep looking at that. I'm like, oh, I need to build one of those for one of a Zoom call with somebody. So I think that's a future project.
I thought about it, but I just ended up just hanging this guy in front of my camera.
Good.
Yeah, it works great. I've got a little metal bar across part of my desk, so I've got one of the Lego minifig magnet hangers.
Oh, nice.
Just hung that on there and put up a background so you don't see my messy office.
Pretty good. Awesome. Cool. I am running out of things to build.
How can you do that?
So how's the? Oh, go ahead.
Surprisingly expensive. This is in the dollar range now. The one
Oh,
by
wow.
curve bottom out.
I find a lot of pieces are going up in that from the double digits to triple digits range, and it's like, whew.
Which, you know, if you're doing a mock, that's not as bad. But if you're doing a kit,
Yeah. Even like the 1x1s that we did for the mosaic mural that we just did, like even they, like I thought they were going to be 1 cent to 5 cents, and some were as high as like 10 to 20, and I was like, holy cow, 20 cents times 10,000, that'll add up.
yeah.
So it's like, cool.
So in my engineering life, I would always tell young engineers that when you do any project that is like a housing project, if you make a mistake, it is multiplied by how many units or how many rooms, that kind of thing. So I always told them an easy way to remember it is any number times a big number is a big number.
Yeah, for sure.
Boy.
Can I put that?
So Greg, are your books done for the year yet?
My books.
Your books.
You mean
He's
like
not done, he's not done
taxes?
cooking them.
Exactly.
I'm actually caught up. Usually about now I've got like 3 months of stuff to do, and I'm caught up and just about, I just have a couple of things to do to get it to our tax person. So I'm way ahead of where I normally am.
I think this year I have the easiest business books ever because I made nothing last year. All my business came at the start of 2021. So I'm like, yes, nothing. Make for a really easy submission.
So do you have a day job?
I do. This is my day job.
Okay.
When the pandemic hit, I got laid off from construction work, and I decided, rather than go back when the pandemic's done, I'm just gonna, create my future job and the passion that I enjoy. So I was like, I'm gonna go for it.
Living the dream.
Yeah, well, I lucked out. Our government came through with a really good pandemic plan, so I was able to get on our version of like employment insurance. So I got that till about April, but in April, either business has to pick up or I'm gonna have to find a supplemental little income job. But go work somewhere simple, that gives me part-time there, and then I can part-time focus on the business. That'll be good. So, but I think once I get the Edmund Fitzgerald set into the marketplace, it'll produce significant income where I won't have to rely on a second job. So here's to hoping that's a smooth sailing.
What do you think it's going to come in at cost-wise?
It's looking about $60 in parts, and then I still have to factor in, the instruction booklet, any graphic design work that we put into it, and then printing for that. And then, we got to at least get some profit out of it. So I think when all is said and done, it's going to come in at about 100, 150 a kit. But for that price, you get the model, the collector's instruction booklet, and you're going to get a nice box with box art. So I think it'll be very reasonable. And it's a fairly big model. Like, this is just a half of it. It's still missing the back type of the stand here, but it's a fairly big model. So
It was a big ship.
Do you have a like Instagram and Facebook and all that?
Yeah. All of our Instagram and Facebook is available if you go onto our website there. Sam's got a link, and it's all pretty much on the front page or on the About Us page. I think actually our Instagram feed populates right to the front page of our website, which is nice. Our web designer who set that up, she did a phenomenal job. And then I'm not sure if I have everything on our web store yet. Let me take a peek.
Yeah,
I'm slowly
reinstalling.
looking. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
we're slowly learning the Wix platform, so I'll be able to edit on the fly and not have to rely on the web designer a whole lot, which is nice. Leave her to focus on other projects. Yeah.
Don't you, Sam?
What's that?
I said, luckily my web designer works for food.
Yep. Easy.
Yeah, it's nice. It was nice that I found a web designer that also does graphic arts and marketing. And the funny story with our graphic designer is she used to work for a company much like what were the company we're creating, but they laid her off during COVID, and then they just didn't bother bringing her back. So I was like, their loss, my gain. I'm gonna use you to your full potential. And she's been very instrumental in getting the brick space to where it is today. So I'm so thankful to having her on the team. So, and then she's also instrumental in our Lego minifigure production, because she's offered to do the Lego minifigure print designs for about $10 a person. So, it's well below what somebody should be charging, but because she knows we're a startup and she wants us to make the most money possible, so it's fantastic.
Yeah, Peter's really getting into that, right?
In the what?
Custom minifigs.
Yeah, designing, not printing.
Yeah,
Printing.
printing.
I don't have a means for that.
I'll bring up a couple of the prints that we've done here, and Sam can bring it up on screen here. I'll let you know when I've got them up.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to get something to drink.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, just a moment too. Got to do some shuffling of some files.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I really need to figure this out.
Having some problems there, Sam?
Yeah. The interstage, the connection between stage 1 and 2, it's not as strong as it should be. I had it originally, and it was fair. It was strong. It would keep a hold of stage 2, not a problem. But then you remove stage 2, and then the grip and the entire assembly that keeps it attached to stage 1 goes with it. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not quite what I want. And then I adjusted it to give the rocket like a tiny little bit more height, just to sort it out, and just to try and make it so it would work a little better and actually stay attached. And it did, but it's so weak that if you try and put the rocket on, it just collapses. So it's like, okay, yeah, I definitely need to resort that. So I've added a load of plates into, well, basically underneath my top of my pieces here, and so that's made this more sturdy, which means at least that bit's not going to go with it. But now I need to rethink my connection method, rather than just using, a bracket with some little claws.
Some clips,
why
yeah.
don't
They're
you
not
try-
the most stable thing. But yeah.
Try using these ones.
So I got the little. Oh yeah. Those would be a little bit more sturdy for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got the little friction into it as well. Yeah. So actually, Sam, I got the custom minifigs up. Yeah. So this was one that we did for our Secret Santa program. We selected 5 kids who were having a rough year, and we made custom versions of themselves. So it's really phenomenal job.
Really cool.
Yeah, so the prints really came out really well, and the guy who does it million prints, fantastic job. And then here's the Bonsu minifigure that I was talking about earlier. As you can see, the Santa hat. Pain in the butt to source those in large quantities. I think it was about $4 a hat when it was all said and done. So I was like, oh. And then of course, we didn't actually anticipate selling these. So when people were like, oh, we want one, it's like, oh, okay, we can figure that out, I guess. So and we were lucky enough. And it's a really fantastic little design. And then and then we do custom. Pretty much, we can do a custom mini print for anybody who wants. So they just submit a photo, send it in to us, and for $35, you get your own custom minifig.
Do you find that printing on the neck stem gets scraped off by the heads?
We haven't really have a lot of feedback on that yet. It's more or less just an advertising for the printer who prints it on there. I'm not sure if he's anticipating it to last long. The only prints that we're actually worried about lasting long are on the front and the plates. So, but yeah, well, definitely something to pay attention to. I'll reach out to the people who have got it because kids obviously play with them enough. So we'll have to see if it has a wear issue.
Yeah, I mean, just as an advertising link, I think it's fine. I mean, I don't think any of your end users are going to care that gets scraped off.
Yeah. It's not like they're popping that off to pay to read the neck, right? But like they're phenomenal designs. We were actually for the Bonsu figure, we were actually going to 3D print a custom body because the actual Mr. Bonsu is very round. I'll see if I can bring up an actual photo of the guy that we were recreating there. But on our Facebook page or on our website, we're actually having a challenge now where we put a minifigure template up on the website, and we're asking kids, to download it and draw whatever minifig you can design, and we're going to print that minifig for the kids.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so it's going to be crazy. And we've got some really unique suggestions. So here's the actual person that figure was built on or designed for. As you can see, he's very round. So yeah, for sure. He's very top heavy too. And then here's one of the submissions for that minifig contest that I was just mentioning. It's going to become quite the challenge to print one of these, but kids are going all out with them. So, apparently it wants to load too. So yeah, it's going to be fun making these. But
yeah, that'll be hard.
Our printer's definitely got his work cut out for him, but I think between him and our graphic designer, they can do it pretty good.
Doing that as a contest, are you then giving away the final printed one?
Yeah, so we're going to select one kid to pick their design, and then we're going to actually send that figure out to them as well. So
you're doing just a single fig, or are you doing a limited amount of it?
Just the one fig for one person. Yeah, I think doing a huge run would be very not cost effective. Yeah. So, but the one kid, who receives that, and then we got a couple of other giveaways that we're doing throughout the week as part of our city's winter carnival because it had to go virtual. So we were like, what kind of ideas could we do to help that virtual carnival? So we did the mural, and we put a lot of pieces in there, and it was fairly big. Tons of pieces on it, so yeah. And then we're giving away a lot of Lego prizes too. We're having a building challenge at the same time, so kids can build something Bonsu related or winter themed, and as long as it has one of those two things involved in it, it can be entered. And then we're giving away some Lego creator sets, has prizes for that, so excellent. You're gonna really enjoy it. Yeah. So
I love giving creator sets as prizes. They're just
yeah, for sure. And we try to go creator for our prizes all the time. Even in the summer, last summer, a friend of mine was like, a friend of mine's autistic son is having a birthday, but we don't know what to get him. So I showed up and I brought a creator Lego set over, and I was like, here you go.
Yeah.
So, and then our museum had a scavenger hunt. So for one of the prizes, we brought the Mandalorian and the child over, and we're like, here you go. We're going to donate this as a prize. So, yeah. We like giving back to our community, especially since we're going to do a GoFundMe to try and get the store open sooner rather than later. Our way of giving back to the community is a way of, in advance saying thank you for possibly helping us open. So that's something my company is going to continue to do in the future too. We're going to try and give away as much stuff as physically possible without, taking us under. So.
So, Scott, I reinstalled Studio, and the files seem to be fine now.
So you just pulled it together again?
I just opened up the file I sent you, and everything's fine.
A little Studio burp.
So, I'm a little concerned.
And the issue was that with the part designer or Studio itself?
Studio itself, from
Okay.
parts that I've already exported to the custom palette. They turn into these weird, either question marks or these weird, jagged, huge crystalline looking pieces.
Oh, wow. Never had that issue, but I've had the question marks. That I can, yeah.
I've only had that one issue before because I made a custom Baby Yoda minifig head that I physically drew in a three-dimensional program. So I imported that object file into Part Designer. It looked fine. And when I brought it in the studio, it just turned into this huge, jagged, crystalline looking thing. So I'm just curious if the contours of the 3D file were not, it wasn't truly a surface, a flat surface. I guess the easiest way, the topography of the 3D model I made, I don't think it was cohesive. I think it was very jagged.
Right.
But
Maybe it's just Lucasfilm saying no Baby Yoda for you.
Quite possibly.
It would be weird if Studio had that kind of copyright level protection. Like if you tried to recreate a Lego model, they're like, nope. Automatically deletes it. I know since Lego bought Bricklink, it's been iffy trying to figure out what's going to happen now that the ownership has changed. But
yeah, I think everybody's kind of wondering.
Yeah, well, we're so used to having the freedom of not being in the Lego, I guess the Lego empire, as you would say, and now we're thrust into it. So, but I have been having a lot of issues with Studio recently, and that's because I updated to the latest version right away. So you definitely have some kinks to work out, that's for sure.
Yeah, Mr. B, don't update to 1.9 if you on Affinity. There's
I haven't
something
had any
going on.
problems with it.
So, Derek, you wouldn't know by chance. You don't do the minifig designs yourself at all. You have someone else who does it.
Yeah. So we have an in-house graphic designer that does them, and she does them for $10 a piece.
I was just curious if you know anything about what the template that they use looks like.
Yeah, so we have a template that was supplied to us by the printer. I think it's used in Illustrator. It's an AI file, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I'm only asking because I made my own template from basically taking a screenshot of the part designer's layout of the figure.
Okay.
And I was just trying to get something that's more precisely made, other than me tracing the outline and blowing it up to a large enough file to work with.
Okay. Go ahead and shoot me an email at twinsuebricks@gmail.com.
Okay.
I'll send you the template.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't mind sharing that with you.
Sam, can I show my screen for a second?
Of course you can. Stand by. There we go.
The shared screen overlord.
So this is the one this is the template I ended up making, and I'm not sure because I did get the arms oriented properly, so I can just paste it right into Studio without having to worry about the rotation.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just curious because it's like this is me just doing it for Studio. I'm just curious what would happen if I actually sent it to a printer. You know.
For sure. Let me see if I can bring up art. Like when our designer did the Monsufig, she actually sent me the template, a screenshot in the program that she was using. Let me see if I can bring that up.
This works, Joe Chambers. You're magnificent.
This is my Grogu that I made.
Right on. Okay, so Sam, you can go ahead and share my screen now. If it'll load up. Signs that I need a new desktop.
Yeah, the more you do with Studio, the more I notice my overhead is getting bad.
Yeah. So this is the template in Illustrator that she used. It's just just basic, simple.
Okay.
And for the legs as well. Yeah. So. But yeah, I can definitely share that
It
with
looks
you.
like the front of the legs and the hips are printed at the same time. Is that correct?
I think he separates them when he prints it. This is just like the layer. When we send it to him, we send it all together, and then he separates it as it needs to be printed. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
But he does a phenomenal job. We're so happy with the level of service we got with that person. And Sam actually has some of his prints on a TARDIS that he has, so he can.
I can attest to it. It's good quality.
Attest to the quality. Yeah.
And do you just get blank white figures and just print on white all the time, or?
We've done tan faces as well. Most of our custom figures that people order themselves are all done on tan. The Bonsu was done on white. White head, red body, red legs. And then we're doing a contract right now for the Canadian Border Services Agency, and they're getting tan face, blue body. So,
are darker skin tones possible?
Yeah, we can do. We've done a black, a young black lady. So yeah, we can definitely print on me. Yeah, and the quality is basically the same throughout the prints. I can bring up the darker skin tone that we did earlier this year.
And and I'm sorry if you brought this up earlier in the show, but is this pad printing?
I'm not sure what the printing is, to be honest.
Because I'm going to guess it's not UV. I think it's pad printing, it looks like.
Let me double check. I have a picture. I think it might be UV, come to think of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
UV makes sense just because of
Yeah. The quality comes out really good, though, for whatever printing it is.
Because I've seen other UV printers that didn't really make the cut.
Yeah. Oh, we're extremely happy with it.
So we have come to the end of another 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Flew by. Derek, thanks for joining us. It's been
anytime. Yeah.
Obviously, I think there's going to be some collaboration coming out of this.
For sure. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
We would love to support anybody, but obviously somebody that's as nice as you, because isn't that the definition of a Canadian? They're nice.
Sorry, was I too nice?
Much nicer than the guy from Utah. We'll just say that.
I can't.
I don't know.
He's not here to anyway, thanks for joining. If you have liked this show, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video. Look for some more coming. We'll be hopefully getting some more guests for the show. And if not, we always seem to have something to talk about as the regulars when we get together. So again, thank you guys. Thanks, Derek, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you. And feel free to check out our website and stuff like that. We're happy to have you stop on by and check us out. So
you bet.